Once upon a time, in a cozy little corner of the countryside, lived a mother pig with her 3 little sons. As the days grew shorter and a chill filled the air, she knew it was time for them to venture out and build their own homes. She gathered them close, gave them each a warm hug and a little purse of money, and said, "My dear boys, it's time for you to go out into the world and seek your fortune. But remember, whatever you do, do it with all your heart and build a strong, safe house for yourselves." The farmer, a kind man, agreed and gave him a big bundle. The first little pig was thrilled. In no time at all, he had huffed and puffed and piled the straw into a small, cozy-looking house. It wasn't very sturdy, but it was quick. "There," he said, dusting his hands. "Now I have the rest of the day to play." He spent the afternoon dancing and singing, not a care in the world. The second little pig was a little more practical than his brother, but still in a hurry to get back to his fun. He walked a bit further down the road and soon came across a man gathering a big pile of sticks. He pondered, scratching his chin. Sticks are definitely stronger than straw, and it still shouldn't take too long. He approached the man and asked, "Pardon me, would you be willing to sell me some of those sticks to build a house?" The man was happy to make a deal, and the second little pig bought a large bundle of sturdy sticks. He worked a bit harder than his brother, lashing the sticks together with twine and weaving them into walls. It took him a couple of hours, but soon he had a handsome house made of wood. "Excellent," he declared, admiring his work. "Stronger than straw, and I still have plenty of time for a nap before dinner." He went inside, curled up, and fell fast asleep. Now, the third little pig was different. He was patient, thoughtful, and remembered his mother's warning about the wolf very clearly. He knew that a truly safe house required time, effort, and the right materials. He walked past the fields of straw and the piles of sticks, continuing down the road until he saw a bricklayer with a wagon full of strong red bricks. His eyes lit up. "This is it," he said to himself. "This is what I need." He went up to the man and said, "Good sir, I'd like to buy enough of your bricks and mortar to build a proper house." The bricklayer was impressed by the little pig's serious attitude and sold him a full load. The third little pig got to work immediately. It was hard, tiring work. He had to lay each brick carefully, one by one, spreading the mortar just right. The sun beat down on his back, and his little trotters grew sore. His brothers came by to visit, laughing at him. "Why are you working so hard?" they teased. "Come and play with us. Your house is taking forever." But the third little pig just shook his head and kept on working. "I'm building a house that will keep me safe," he replied. "You should have done the same." He built a strong foundation, sturdy walls, a solid roof, and even a big, strong fireplace with a chimney. It took him several days, but when he was finished, he had a magnificent, solid brick house. He felt tired, but very, very proud and safe. Just as the third little pig was putting the finishing touches on his new home, who should come prowling through the woods but the big, bad wolf? The wolf hadn't had a good meal in days, and the sight of 3 plump little pigs setting up house made his stomach rumble with glee. He decided to start with the easiest target. He crept up to the house of straw where the first little pig was just finishing a song. The wolf knocked on the flimsy door. Little pig, let me come in," he growled in his deepest, scariest voice. The first little pig peeked through a gap in the straw, saw the wolf's big teeth, and squealed in terror. "No, no, not by the hair on my chinny chin chin," he cried. The wolf just chuckled. "Then I'll huff and I'll blow your house in." And with one enormous huff and a mighty puff, he blew the straw house completely apart. The first little pig squealed and ran as fast as his little legs could carry him all the way to his brother's house of sticks. He burst through the door, shouting, the wolf is coming." The second little pig, who had been woken from his nap, quickly barred the door just as the wolf arrived. "Knock, K-N-O-C-K, K-N-O-C-K." The wolf's voice boomed from outside. Little pigs, let me come in." The 2 pigs huddled together, trembling. "No, no, not by the hair on our chinny chin chins," they squeaked together. The wolf's grin grew wider. "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in." He took an even bigger breath this time. He huffed, and he puffed, and the house of sticks began to creak and groan. He gave another mighty puff, and the whole house came tumbling down in a heap of splintered wood. The 2 little pigs screamed and scrambled out of the wreckage, running for their lives towards their brother's brick house. They pounded on the strong wooden door, yelling, "Let us in! Let us in! The wolf is chasing us." The third little pig, seeing the danger, quickly opened the door and pulled his terrified brothers inside, slamming and bolting it shut just as the wolf came charging up the path. The wolf was furious now. 3 pigs in one house. What a feast! He pounded on the door. Little pigs, let me come in." From inside, a calm and steady voice replied, "No, not by the hair on my chinny chin chin." The wolf was enraged. "Then I'll huff and I'll blow your house in." He gathered all his strength. He huffed and he puffed, but nothing happened. The brick house stood firm. He huffed again, his face turning red. He puffed until he was blue in the face. He huffed and puffed and huffed and puffed, but not a single brick moved. The house was simply too strong. Exhausted and out of breath, the wolf had to stop and think. He was a clever wolf, and he wasn't going to give up that easily. He circled the house, looking for a weak spot. Then he looked up and saw the chimney. A sly smile spread across his face. Aha, he thought. I'll just climb up the roof and slide down the chimney. I'll surprise them and gobble them all up. But inside, the third little pig was just as clever. He heard the scrabbling of claws on the roof and guessed the wolf's plan. Thinking fast, he told his brothers, "Quick, help me." They filled their biggest cooking pot with water and put it on the fire that was already crackling merrily in the fireplace. Up on the roof, the wolf took a deep breath and squeezed himself into the top of the chimney. "Here I come, little piggies." He howled as he began to slide down, 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 down. He went into the darkness of the chimney. But instead of landing softly on the hearth, he fell with a giant splash right into the huge pot of boiling water. He yelped with a pain and surprise like he'd never felt before, shot straight back up the chimney like a rocket, and landed in a singed heap outside. He ran off howling into the woods, holding his burnt tail, and was never ever seen in that part of the country again. From that day on, the three little pigs lived together in the strong brick house. The first two pigs had learned a very important lesson about the value of hard work and planning ahead. They thanked their clever brother for saving their lives and helped him tend the garden and keep the beautiful brick house tidy. They still loved to sing and dance, but they always made sure their chores were done first. And they all lived safely and happily ever after. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more. See you next time.